Hello everybody. In today's video, we're going to look at how to install Pandas or any other Python library package on Lambda AWS. So I actually like using the AWS platform to do this because it already has both 3. So when you're using it to install or pip install any library Python library package is able to actually get the right bottle version for it because it's already been done on it. So it's kind of a nice platform, a good platform to actually use. Also, one thing that you need to pay attention to is the kind of Python version that you're going to pip install should match the Lambda function Python version that you're going to create. So the Lambda function you're going to create should have the same version as the library package you are going to install. So I'm going to use Jupyter Lab to do it, and I'm going to already have it open. So I'm going to go there, and this is how I got to. So the moment you get to Jupyter Lab, it looks like this. So you can just click on the terminal, and it will pop up for you. So you can choose one. So now you first have to check your current directory, which is pwd, and that is it. I need to get to SageMaker so that I can see my stuff here whilst I'm working on it. So we're going to do change directory to SageMaker. Now that we are on SageMaker, we're going to make a folder. So let's see if we are actually in SageMaker. pwd. Yep, we are in SageMaker. So we're now going to make a folder. So we're going to call this command to make a folder called Pandas. So we are going to install Pandas 3.8. So that's what we're going to do. So I'm going to label it 3.8. After that, maybe I'll do 3.10 for you guys to see the difference. One, we are going to have compatibility issues based on dependencies. So I'm going to do this. Now we have Pandas 3.8. What we're going to do is to change directly to that 3.8. We're going to get in there. We are in there now. Now, as you can see, we have our Pandas 3.8 right here. Now we're going to pip install our Python, but we're going to choose the version, which is a 3.8. So that is what we're going to do. So we're going to do Python, the version 3.8 dash m pip install Pandas. Then the dash T means we want it here, but we are not going to have it done in this particular folder. So we're going to give another folder called Python. So the moment I do this, it starts installing the package. Now, one thing we can do is we can actually look into this to see what's in there. It's not done yet, it's still moving. So we're going to wait when it's done. Now let's refresh it. Now we have our Python, the folder that we created, and it has the package inside. Now the next thing we're going to do is to zip it because Lambda layers would need a zip. So we're going to zip carefully. The zip name, how we want to call it, we're going to call it pandas 38.zip because that's the extension that we're going to use, and the folder that we want to zip. Now that that is done, we need to copy this zip folder to AWS S3. And now I need to go to my S3 bucket and copy the S3 bucket name. Copy the S3 bucket name. Because I will need it. Now I go to my terminal So what I'm going to do is to write a command to actually do that. AWS S3 copy the zip file that we created .38 dot zip, then the S3 bucket that we want to actually send this to. So I copied it. I'm going to just hit enter, and now it's done. Now let's go to our S3 bucket. We have nothing here, so we're going to, now we have the pandas 3.8 zip file here. Now we go to Lambda function. We're going to go to the functions. So we have a Lambda function created with a runtime 3.8. That's the version that we want, that I created 23 minutes ago. So this is it. Now, as you can see, with this Lambda function, when I look at my code, I have import pandas as PD. Now, let's see if this is going to work because we have no layers here. So let's see if it's going to work. Now we have an error message which says unable to import module because there's no package in here. So now the next thing that we're going to do is to actually upload our Lambda function, the pandas that we created. So we're going to do this, and we're going to give it a name like as pandas 38 because that's the one that we want, and we're going to upload it, the file from Amazon S3. So we go to Amazon S3, we check here, we pick the URL, we go back to our layers, then we copy and paste, we choose the compatible architecture, which is this. Then we choose the runtime, which is 3.8. Okay, now we're going to hit create. Now that we have this, we can go to our layers and refresh. Then we have our pandas 3.8. Now that we have this here, we go to our functions. We have that. We pick the second one. Then we add our layers. So we have to go to layer. Then we go to edit. Oh, sorry, we are not going to edit. We're going to go to, that was funny, layers. We go to add layer instead of edit. So these are some of the already provided AWS packages, but we want a custom one. So we go to custom, then we choose the one that we actually uploaded. Then the version is going to be just one. Then we add it. So now that we have our layer added, you can add a number of layers if you want. But one thing that from my experience, I've seen is the space given to layers on a particular Lambda function is 256 bytes. That is, I think, 256,000 bytes. Sorry, that is 256 megabytes. So remember, your pandas has been zipped. So imagine, and when we look at the size of the here is 38.7 megabytes. So when you unzip it on the Lambda, the layers, it's going to take a huge space. So 256 megabytes, and we have 38. So unzip is going to take a huge space. So most of the time, huge packages are not going to be able to fit on the layer. So now we're going to test it. The first time we did, we had an error code, um, unable to import module. So now let's test it again, and we have the response, which means it's working now. So us importing our Lambda function, pandas, is actually working. And this is all for today. Um, this is Lambda. The pandas version that I use is the 3.8. I'll do another video with the 3.10 to see if it's going to work. Thank you guys for watching.